Morning, everyone, to this meeting of League City Toastmasters. My name is Scott Livingston. I'm the Sergeant at Arms. We're glad that each of you are here to another exciting meeting. We've got some great speakers lined up. We've got some guests. And at this time, I'd like to introduce and invite to the podium our new club president, Megan Lemaster. Welcome to the podium, Megan.
Hey everybody, good morning. Thank you for being here. I would like to extend a welcome to our guests and our new members. Congratulations and welcome. I'm going to be our Toastmaster today as well. So we're running a couple minutes behind. And we are expecting our area director, Fatima, to join us at some point today. So if you see her, we'll welcome her warmly as well. At this time, though, I would like to call upon our timer, grammarian, counter, and ballot counter to explain their roles. First, we'll start with Elizabeth, who is our timer today. Elizabeth.
Good morning. My role is timer. I will be timing the prepared speeches, the table topics, and the evaluators. Back to you, Megan.
Thank you so much. Aaron, I'm going to turn it over to you to explain your roles today as the grammarian and the counter, please. But you're muted. Looks like he's having some technical difficulties.
Go ahead, Aaron. Looks like your mute is off. Can you speak? I mean, just say something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Having some, well, see if we can give him some time to get his audio sorted out.
Can you do it without the headphones, Aaron? Can you speak and just pull the plug on your headphones?
The world of Zoom. If you haven't had a technical snafu with Zoom, then did you even do 2020?
That's right. That's right. Well, do you want me to go ahead and talk about the ballot counter? I'm next.
Yes, please go ahead, Scott.
Okay, I'm the ballot counter today. So basically, we'll have some electronic ballots for the best prepared speech, the best table topic speech. If we get to table topics, we'll also have an electronic vote for the best evaluator, and that'll come later in the session. And that's my role as the ballot counter. Also, I'll break any ties. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Back to you.
Thank you. I'll briefly go over the grammarian and counter while we let Aaron get some time to get his technical issues. The grammarian selects and introduces the word of the day, provides a definition, and uses it in a sentence. And he will also be listening for interesting words, phrases, or grammar. The counter listens for crutch words and filler words such as etc. from all members, and will count each occurrence up to 5 per speaker. So the general outline of our meetings, we'll have some prepared speeches, we'll do some impromptu speeches, and then we'll wrap it up with an evaluation and some of our business meeting towards the end. So I will go ahead and introduce our first speaker. Jason is going to be speaking first today because he's got some time constraints. So Jason is on the dynamic leadership pathway. His speech title is Parkinson's and Rock Steady. So this is the second evaluation speech in the Pathways Dynamic Leadership. It's designed to use the feedback from the first to help improve upon it. In this 5 to 7 minute speech, he will describe how rock steady boxing can help combat the symptoms of Parkinson's. So Jason, please take it away.
Thank you, Megan. I'm off mute, right? You guys can hear me? Perfect. my last speech, I talked about Rocksteady and Parkinson's and how Rocksteady can help combat Parkinson's. It seems like a lifetime ago that I gave this speech, but you guys get to hear it again because I'm going to take what I learned in the first speech and my evaluation and help improve it for this one. So I'm going to start off with Parkinson's. How many of you guys know somebody who's been diagnosed with Parkinson's? Raise your hand. Anybody? A few people. Perfect. Does anybody know what Parkinson's is? A couple of you guys. So I'm going to tell you, if you haven't heard, you don't remember it from my last speech or you weren't here. Parkinson's is a progressive neurological disorder. By progressive, unfortunately, we means that it doesn't get better. Some of the symptoms of Parkinson's are shaky hands, and this often starts one-sided, but often can develop over to the next side. We also see people have bradykinesia, and that's slow movements. In other words, you'll see somebody that has Parkinson's and they'll brush through their hair. It might take them a long time just to get that comb through their hair. We'll often see them shuffle or even freeze. It's like they have a stop in their neurons in their brainwaves where they try to take a step and they freeze and they just can't move. You'll also see rigid muscles. You'll see them hunched back. So what causes Parkinson's? The thing is, we really don't know. It could be environmental, it could be hereditary, could be exposure to toxins or chemicals. And a lot of people think it's just a mix between all of those. So what's the common theme that we see in Parkinson's? Well, when people are diagnosed with Parkinson's, we often find that 80% of their dopamine levels are depleted. So naturally, what's the best way to help combat Parkinson's is to increase dopamine. So what we'll see as far as drugs being given are synthetic dopamine. Synthetic dopamine is great. It helps with all the symptoms of Parkinson's. However, there are side effects. You start often seeing the big jerky movements, which to a Parkinson's patient, it really doesn't bother them as much as the small movements. So if you see Michael J. Fox, those big jerky movements, those are often caused by the synthetic dopamine. You also get hallucinations, you get sleep disorders with it. So the best way really that we can combat Parkinson's is by increasing dopamine naturally. And in my last speech I gave, I asked, what is the best exercise, the most high intense exercise that you can do? Anybody out there can guess what that is? Yeah, I see Scott. Yes, boxing. So there's been several different studies. ESPN has had one, Olympics has had one, and they all came to the same conclusion that the hardest, most difficult sport out there, one that can raise your heart levels the most, is actually boxing. So the best way to increase dopamine levels naturally is through boxing. And what we found that boxing actually simulates and can help combat every disorder that we have with Parkinson's. In other words, just be in that split stance. You have your dominant foot back, your other foot forward. That's helping with your balance. You're most stable when you're in that split stance. When you're holding your gloves up like this, guess what? You're building your strength, so you're going to help decrease muscle loss with that as well. When we start throwing out combos, you're going to remember that in your head, and it's going to help with the cognitive factors that we often see with Parkinson's. So Rocksteady is a perfect program to help combat the disorders of Parkinson's. The first thing that we do when somebody gets diagnosed and enters our program is we run a balance test. And in the balance test, we'll often see, hey, can they walk in a straight line? Can they step on one foot? Can they do a small jump? If they don't do very well in a balance test, they can still enter our program. We just often require that they have a corner man with them, and that somebody there, it's often a spouse or family member that can help them with their balance. So no matter their skill level, they can still enter our program. In our program, we really start off every one of our sessions with an icebreaker. We do a question of the day, gets people just involved, kind of like what we do with Toastmasters. And after that, we do diaphragmatic yelling. A lot of people don't know, but with Parkinson's also, we start seeing their voice get quiet. So diaphragmatic yelling helps with that. In fact, Toastmasters would be a great ideal program for somebody who has Parkinson's. After our diaphragmatic yelling in our intros, we move into what's called groundwork. So if you ever seen Rocky where he chases the chicken, kind of the same thing here, but we focus on big movements which can help combat the freezes. After the groundwork, we often do shadow boxing. And with shadow boxing, as I described before, we have our hands up, we number our combos that we do. So we do a left jab is 1, right jab is 2, left hook is 3, right hook is 4, left uppercut is 5, right uppercut is 6. And we'll call it out. We'll say, Sam, can you give us a 1, 3, 4, 6, 5? And they have to do that combo. So they're working on their balance because they're in that split stance. Now they're having to remember each one of these combos that they're doing. And that's just going to help overall with the whole Parkinson's. And at the very end, we finish with a fun game. Depending on what we're doing that day, it could be working with the voice inflections. We've bought little yellies from Amazon, and we play games where you get them on the ground and you yell and you see these little animals go, and whoever's yelling the loudest, they kind of move the quickest. So overall, it's a fun program, and everything is designed to help with the Parkinson's disorder. And I hope you enjoyed my speech today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was really interesting, Jason. I feel like I learned a lot. Right now, we're going to take 1 minute to allow our evaluator to complete their evaluation form. And if you have any comments that you would like to share with Jason, please feel free to use the chat and send him any feedback that you might have. And also during this time, I see we have Fatima with us. Hello and welcome. She's our area director. We also have David and Kelly, guests. Welcome, welcome. You all will be able to participate in our improv round, which is coming up after the prepared speeches, if you'd like. You don't have to. So I'll give a moment for our evaluator, and then we'll move on to our second speech.
Hey, Megan, in this minute, I'm just going to do a tech check if my microphone is working. Can anybody hear me?
Yes.
All right. So I'll use this minute real quick to the word of the day. The word of the day is elegant, pleasingly graceful, and stylish in appearance or manner is the definition. And a sentence is she will look elegant in black.
Wonderful. All right, we are ready to move on to our second speaker. Our second speaker today is Scott Livingston, and he is in the innovative planning pathway. His speech is titled, "Why do all these people keep coming here?" Scott Livingston has 20 years of experience in community and economic development in DeSoto, LaPorte, and League City, Texas, plus 5 years of cross-cultural experience in India. He is both a certified economic developer and a certified public manager, and he seeks to create a financially stable communities that provide superior quality of life. He's been married for 22 years to his beautiful wife, Desiree. They have 3 children, ages 17, 14, and 12. So he's got his hands full, and they reside in League City, Texas. Scott, please take it away.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Thank you, guests and members of Toastmasters, for the opportunity for me to speak to you today about this topic. Why do all these people keep moving here, keep coming here? A lot of times in development, when we have a growing community, it's often common that when people move here, a lot of times they want to quickly pull up the drawbridge behind them and, figuratively speaking, fill the moat. They don't want other people coming just like they just recently came. And in fact, it's also somewhat amusing that you hear people complain about all those other people on the roadways, fighting with them for space to go to work. But the irony is that the other people in the other cars, i.e. their neighbors, are thinking the same thing. What about all these crazy people? Why do all these people keep moving here? Sadly to say, it's one of the growing pains associated with a growing community. People want to be here. People want to invest here. And when we look at those individuals and say, why do those people keep coming here? Sometimes we have to look in the mirror and ask ourselves, why do we come to this community? So I'd like to answer that question today. When we think about growth, there are positive things about growth, there are negative things about growth, and often there's a trade-off. And at the end of the day, you can't have all of one thing or all of another. You got to have a symbiotic relationship between the two. There's a balance, a composition, if you will. There's some magic. You got to have a little bit of both. So when we talk about growth, we usually talk about commercial growth and we talk about residential growth. And again, trade-offs with each. You can't just have one, can't just have the other. You really need both. Because if you only have one, you'll miss out on some of the advantages that the other offers. So one of the things about a growing community is it costs money. In order to pay for the services, the amenities, the parks, the streets, the drainage, the police, the engineers, the traffic people, it costs money to provide these services and these amenities that we enjoy. So for example, let's talk about Amazon. Amazon recently came to the city of League City, and the first thing we heard is, oh my God, why do people keep moving here? Why is Amazon here? And again, there's positives, there are negatives. We hear about the traffic, the congestion, the noise, the unsightliness. We hear that people are concerned about the home values going down because this big logistics center just moved in. And again, remember, there's a trade-off. There are positives, there are negatives. We need things like Amazon, just like we need things like homes. There's a relationship between the two. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. Let's talk about our community. In the community, again, we need services, we need amenities, and all those things cost money. And in fact, what's going to be the source of that money? If we have a community which is all residential, that means the residents pay all the taxes to pay for all the amenities and the services, the parks, the library, the traffic technicians, engineers, and so forth. If you have all commercial, well, then it's all the commercial that pays for all the taxes. But if you have all commercial, where do the people live? If you have all the residents, well, then they got to pay all the taxes, and where are they going to work? So let's talk about this symbiotic relationship. Again, you need both. You need a balance. You need a composition. A lot of times that requires planning and forethought. And one of the things we do is there is a way to measure and to try to get to that perfect balance between not having too much residential, not having too much commercial. And what is that perfect balance? Well, you can do a study called a fiscal impact land use analysis, where you look at all the land in the community and determine, okay, how many homes do we want? How many businesses do we want? Who's going to pay for what? And it's not perfect, but the idea is as a community grows, you can find the gap of the balance for that type of growth. And the idea is over time, you want to close that gap, because the idea is you want to have enough commercial tax base to pay for all the services required by the citizens, not only now, but in the future and in perpetuity. Because once we finish building out a community, the idea is we can't redo our development unless we knock something down and redevelop it. So the idea is as we grow closer to build out, we want to measure how we're progressing with respect to closing that financial resources gap to make sure we have enough residential and commercial growth to pay for our services today and tomorrow and in perpetuity. So we have a choice. Do we want all residential? Do we want all commercial? Or do we want a symbiotic balance of the two? I would therefore propose that growth, new quality growth, commercial growth like Amazon in a bedroom community like League City is good, it's essential, and it's needed because it's part of the trade-off. You get some of the good, you get some of the bad. And with developments like Amazon, you have lots of different types of taxes. So with residential, you only get one type of tax, that's property tax, but with business, you get sales tax, property tax, business personal property tax, you get the business to business impacts. And so we need the commercial, and we need the jobs, and we need local jobs, and all that together provides a quality of life for our citizens. It keeps the taxes low, it pays for the services and the amenities that we enjoy, and therefore quality development like Amazon is part of that necessary trade-off in a bedroom community where we have a high quality of service that we have come to expect and demand. Therefore, when people say, why do all these people keep coming here? It's because we, the community, needs a way to provide for the services or the quality of services that you and all the other citizens have come to enjoy since you moved to our community. Thank you, everyone, for the opportunity to speak before you today.
Thank you, Scott. That was excellent. And when I read about that Amazon, I thought, ooh, good job, Scott. I figured you had a hand in that. So congratulations to you. At this point, we will take another minute to give our evaluator a moment to complete their evaluation. And we will be moving into the next portion of our meeting, which is table topics. So this is the impromptu speaking section. Guests, please don't be intimidated. These are very short, about 90 seconds. So if you'd like to jump in, you are more than welcome. Tends to be this is kind of the fun part. So I'll allow our timer to give us the 60 seconds right now. Thank you.
We're at 24 seconds now.
And please feel free to send any feedback you have directly to Scott using the chat.
One minute.
Right. I would like to turn things over at this time to Fatima Jones, who is our area director, and she is going to be leading us in table topics today. Please take it away.
I'm so sorry. You got to give me a minute. I just totally lost everything. I tried my computer. Hold on.
While Fatima is gathering herself, yes, we all have done that, poured coffee on our laptop and it fries. Now she's on her phone. She gets an A for hanging in there.
I'm ready. I have
You're
it. I
ready.
have my list
Okay.
now. Okay. So day before yesterday was an unofficial holiday. That holiday was to tell the truth day. It was Truth Day. And it encourages people to always tell the truth, even if it's inconvenient and hard. We know that integrity is one of Toastmasters' core values. So today, all of our table topics will revolve around truth.
You're on mute, Fatima.
Oh, you didn't hear anything I said? I'm sorry.
It's okay. I heard
Okay.
about truth.
Okay. So I'm on my cell phone, and for some reason it thinks I'm driving and keeps going on mute. When I scroll my screen, it goes on mute because it thinks I'm driving. So I cannot see everyone. So Elizabeth, will you please tell me who would be willing to participate in our table topics? I can only see Jason, Megan, you, and me.
Okay. Before I do that, I'd love to share our timing rules for table topics. For those guests, you will receive a green card at 1 minute, a yellow card at 1.5, and a red card at 2. Table topics, you qualify at 1 minute and you're disqualified at 2 minutes and 32 seconds. And I believe everyone here would be open to table topics. We have Kelly and David as guests. Kelly, would you be open to a table topic? Okay, yes, Fatima, she's saying yes.
Okay, so would someone, a seasoned member like to go first so that she can get a flavor of how it goes? Megan, would you like to take the first question?
Sure.
The first question is it possible to tell a lie without saying a word?
It is possible to tell a lie without saying a word. Many times I feel that our actions communicate more effectively than the words coming out of our mouth. For example, you can convey to somebody something very quickly and effectively with a facial expression. I'm sure many of us have smiled at people that we were not happy with at all. And I find the science of nonverbal communication very interesting. One thing that's really interesting to me is, for example, dissonance between your nonverbal communication and what you're actually saying. So if someone's saying, I didn't do that, or no, like, yes, you can notice these subtle ways of communicating if you're paying attention. So to answer the question, absolutely, somebody can lie without ever opening their mouth. Thank you.
Thank you for your response. The next question, I'd like to call upon Kelly. Kelly, this is your question. It has a little bit of an introduction. You have a friend that has an audition on American Idol. Would you tell her that she can't sing, or would you just leave it to Paula Abdul to break the news on national TV?
Wonderful question. Would I tell my friend that she couldn't sing? I believe I would tell her that maybe an audition on American Idol might not be the first place she would want to start. I may share with her that she might want to start in smaller venues, practice a little bit more. I would want to save her from embarrassment because she is my friend. I would not want her to be on the on the highlight reel of the American Idol, where they are absolutely poking fun at each of the contestants who are clearly oblivious that they cannot sing. I would not want her to suffer from that embarrassment, and certainly would want her to shine in the way that I know that she can. Sorry.
No, that's good. Great. Thank you. Great response.
Never
Okay.
done that before. Thank you.
Did a great job. David, would you like to go next?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, please.
So your question is, Benjamin Franklin is often thought to have popularized the phrase, honesty is the best policy. What are your thoughts on that phrase? Honesty is the best policy.
I do believe honesty is the best policy. It's even if it's painful sometimes, you always find the two sets of people. There's more of the free spirit and there's more of the direct. I'm more the passive aggressive in the middle, but yes, the honesty is the best policy. Let people know right away. At first it could be painful and people, oh my goodness, I don't care for this person. But once they get to know you, they realize, whoa, he or she is always going to let us know right where they stand. And so you end up having a better relationship in the end, to just go ahead and tell the truth, be honest, let them know where they stand, especially when it comes to employees, children, or dogs, but I do not compare employees or children to dogs. But all three, if you let them know exactly what needs to be done and give them boundaries and honesty, and I believe it's the best thing for them. I still have time. Yes, honesty is the best policy. Thank you.
Great.
And thank you for letting Kelly go first. Thank you. Thank you, Kelly.
Okay, Elizabeth, who would like to go next? I cannot see.
Robert,
Anybody raising their hand?
Robert put in chat, he would like to go.
Okay, Robert, this is your question. It's kind of following the previous question. Why does the truth hurt so much?
The truth hurts so much because we're in the world. 100% we're in the world. The world will tell you to not speak the truth because the world is a sinful place. It's a very, very sinful place. And we got to understand that, though, being a Christian means you have to be honest even when you don't want to. It'll give you strong, it'll make you stronger, and it'll make you grow, because the world's gonna tear us down and be like, oh, telling the lie would be the easiest because it'll hurt someone, or I'm not saying to hurt someone, but you can be honest to people without hurting them. Thank you.
Thank you. Toastmaster, do we have time for one more?
We are running a little behind today. I'm thinking that since we have officer inductions at the end of the meeting, we should probably move on with the evaluations if everyone's okay with that.
Okay.
Does that work? So right now, though, do we have the ability to digitally vote for best table topic speaker?
Madam Toastmaster, I have another question for you. Was I doing this induction? Because if not, I don't have my paperwork.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was the plan.
Well, I'm gonna put you, I don't have my paperwork. Let me see if I printed it. Hold on.
Okay.
Go on with the meeting.
Okay. So,
Yes, I believe
okay.
the polls are ready. I've been putting them together. Let me go back. Now, I understand you want to do best table topics speaker first, correct?
Please, yes.
All right, let me see if it's ready. Hold on just a second, guys. Okay, it looks like it is ready. So we had 4 speakers, Megan, Kelly, David, and Robert. All right, I just launched it. Yes.
Once we wrap up with this, perhaps we can vote for the best speaker after.
Yes, and it looks like we need 2 more votes. Looks like we've had 5 of 7 people vote.
I don't know if Fatima can vote on her phone right now, Scott.
Okay, so 6 voted. Okay, so you want me to go ahead and end the polling then? Okay, 7 out of 7. All right, let me write down this winner for the best table topic. I wrote down the winner. Okay, I'm going to end the polling. All right, we've got the winner. Now, do you guys want me to share the results, or you want me just to announce it? A lot of times I just announce it. If you're okay with that, I'll continue that.
Fine.
I'll just announce it that way. If I have to ever do a tiebreaker, then it won't be a problem. All right, so got that done, Megan.
Okay. All right. Do you want to go ahead and launch the poll for the best speaker?
All right, yes. Give me
And
just a second. Yep. Hold on just a second.
after
Best
that-
prepared speaker. All right, it's out now. Okay, in polling, we got that one down. So that's
Okay.
been done. Okay, polling is finished for those two. Back to you,
Perfect.
Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Scott. I would like to now call upon Elizabeth, who is both our general evaluator and one of our speaker evaluators. Elizabeth, please take it away.
Thank you. Fatima, I'm sending you the script. Did you receive it? I texted it to you.
I have a script. I'm supposed to do
Oh.
another for this afternoon. So I have the script. I just don't have the name
Excellent.
of all the officers.
Just trying to help. Okay.
Yep, thank
Here
you.
we go. You're welcome. Okay, it's my portion to start out with the evaluators. As general evaluator, I would like to call on our first evaluator for the first speaker who is not here right now. Therefore, Scott, would you like to email him the evaluation for Jason?
Yes, I'm prepared
Okay.
to do that.
Okay, great. And for the evaluation time, it is 2 to 3 minutes. I am evaluating Scott. Kara was absent and she was evaluating. So I went ahead and took that for you, Scott. So let me pull up your evaluation form here and start the timer. Thank goodness I have an automatic evaluation timer. Okay. Okay, Scott. We won't need to do best evaluator for the day because it's just me today. Okay. I started doing, okay. Okay. Oh, that is, oh, evaluated Jason. Okay, now let me pull up the other one. Apologies for that. There's Scott. Okay, Scott, here we go. Okay, let me restart the timer. I have too many things going on at once. Okay, video background. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, Scott. I learned so much today. I really understand what you do for a living now. I really do. I felt that I really, really saw you from the excellent light in front of you and your fantastic eye contact. I loved your head and hand gestures. For your head gestures, why are so many people here and hand gestures? Why? And again, when you would use your hands for one or another and balance and a little bit of growth and residential or commercial, fantastic hand gestures throughout the entire speech. Your vocal variety was spot on. I noticed you tend to raise your voice. It costs money. I almost brought me back to Mattress Mac, save you money. And so throughout your entire speech, it was great. It was elegant, yet at the same time, laser sharp. It kept me focused. All of the vocal varieties, all of the head gestures, well done. The only thing I could think about for you to work on is maybe have a chart with 1 or 2 slides to showcase the highlights of why our community needs to provide services. Also, maybe use beta mode with your PowerPoint presentation slides where you're in the slide speaking. It is a great way to stay in your audience eye view while there's a PowerPoint slide. This would enhance your presentation today. I really liked how you explained why we need both. Your balance with the stories for the fiscal impact analysis, how many businesses versus how many homes we need, finding the gap, closing it. Do we have enough commercial tax base, followed with the import of measuring and while growing to pay for everything, especially at the end. I liked how you closed the whole loop up with why we should have Amazon here, the importance of having Amazon in League City. And I liked how you called it a sleepy little bedroom town. Back to you, General Evaluator. Okay. Let's see here. Let me turn off my. Okay, now we're going to have a timer report, and that is me. I'm sorry, apology. The two speakers, they both qualified 5 minutes and 48 seconds, and Scott at 6 minutes and 36 seconds. They both qualified. The table topics, everyone qualified. Megan at 1 minute, 13 seconds, Kelly 1 minute, 6 seconds, David 1 minute, 1 second, and Robert at 1 minute, 21 seconds. I know I qualified in the evaluation. I saw it turn yellow. I just was not able to look at the time right at my end. Therefore, everyone did qualify. I would love to call on our awe counter and grammarian, Aaron, for his report.
Okay, let's see. I'm going to assume you can hear me. The big assumption for me today. All right, so the grammarian was a really good meeting today. A lot of great talks, a lot of great table topics, and thanks for all our guests being here. A lot of great input from you. The first time out doing table topics were great. Grammarian report, I didn't hear any use of the word of the day, which was elegant. Didn't hear any misuse of grammar or words, and the use of the English language was good. Moving on to the counter. Myself, I've been hearing myself say a couple times and so a couple times. For the rest of the group, let's see, let's do that again. Sorry, just tongue click. I'm paying attention to it. Our Toastmaster, Megan, I heard so once. Jason, his favorite word during the speech was so. He used and 3 times. There's 1 and 1 tongue click. Scott, during his speaking, had 1 and 3 so's. And during table topics, I heard David have 1 double clutch and then a few ahs when he thought he was done. But on the whole, it was really, really good. Everyone did a great job and a really good meeting. So thanks back to you, Elizabeth.
Thank you so much, Aaron. Fantastic. I would like to, I'll take this time of thanking all of the functionaries of filling roles. Well done. I liked how we were able at the last minute for those who were not able to fulfill their roles today by jumping in and taking on multiple roles. Thank you for that. We always seem to be able to do that as a team. It's really great teamwork. I liked how we have our guests here today, our area director here today, and our new member, Robert. It's so nice to see new members here. Welcome, Robert, our new member. And I feel like overall it was a great meeting. I'm now going to bring this back to our Toastmaster, Megan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ruiz. I would, at this time, I'm actually going to turn this briefly back over to our Sergeant at Arms to present our awards for the best speaker and the best table topics of today. So Scott.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Our best table topics speaker for the day was Robert Kieschnick. So congratulations, Robert, best table topics speaker for today. Congratulations. The award for the best prepared speech of the day goes to me. So thank you, everybody, for your vote. I sincerely appreciate it. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. So just so our guests are aware, today's meeting is a little bit different. This is a brand new year for Toastmasters. We just started our new Toastmaster year. So our officers are going to be inducted at the end of this meeting. So generally we would allow for a little more time for more table topics, but we wanted to make sure that there was time for that. And also just the general business portion of our meeting. As an FYI, we have been talking about moving to hybrid in-person virtual meetings. So that is definitely something that will be happening in the coming months. So I'm looking forward to that because I've never actually met any of you all in person. So that'll be fun. So we'll be providing additional information on that once we have the details of that sorted out. So at this point, I would like to say if our guests have any feedback, if they want to talk for a minute about what they think. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but if you have any feedback for us about the meeting today, we would love to hear that. You're also more than welcome to email me. I'll put my email in the chat if you have any questions. I'm more than happy to answer that. Great to have you all here, and you guys were really good sports. I know that 60 seconds can feel like an absolute eternity. So good job to both of you, and thank you so much. If you got any feedback, we'd love to hear it.
I just want to say thank you for letting me come on here with y'all. I initially just wanted to come and meet with y'all because of, the public speaking factor of it. Then when I noticed there was a lot of leadership, that made me a little more excited because I'm just fascinated by good leadership. So I look forward to hopefully meeting with y'all some more, and I appreciate y'all having me on here. So
Yeah, same here. I appreciate the opportunity to jump on with you guys. I actually had the timing off on my calendar for whatever reason. I got on the Zoom last Friday and sat there by myself, and I thought, well, okay, I guess it's not this Friday. I must have it all wrong on my calendar. But great to see all of you and get to know you. Look forward to spending more time with you in the future.
Thank you both so much. Thank you. So our meeting, I am dedicated to punctuality. So I would like to, if possible, we'll wrap things up right around 9:30. At this point, I'd like to turn things over to Fatima for the officer inductions.
Thank you very much. Before I get started, I need the names of a couple of the officers. Who is the treasurer?
Me, Scott Livingston. I'm
So
the
you-
treasurer. I'm also the sergeant at arms and former past president.
Okay, thank you. And who's the secretary? Oh, Elizabeth, you, okay. And what about VPPR? Public Relations.
That's me, Aaron Peshek.
Okay, thank you. Okay, will all of the existing officers from the 2020-21 office please raise their hand? Okay, thank you. On behalf of Toastmasters International, I want to thank you for your service and your accomplishments and salute you for your service. At this time, you are discharged from all further responsibilities of this club. Thank you very much. Now, when I call each of the officers, I would like you to raise your hand. Normally, we would stand up, pass the gavel, but since we're in the virtual environment, I would just ask you to raise your hand to acknowledge who you are. I am here to install the officers and prepare them for the challenges ahead. Their collective challenges to make this club strong and dedicated in helping people from all walks of life to listen with sensitivity, think creatively, and speak in an effective manner. As I briefly describe the responsibilities of each office, the officer will hold the virtual gavel as a symbol of their leadership. Scott, you're holding two offices. The first office is Sergeant at Arms. As Sergeant at Arms, you are responsible for reserving the room, setting up the space in this virtual environment. Once we go to in person, you will be responsible for setting up the room in person. Will you perform these duties, Scott, to the best of your abilities?
Yes, I will.
Thank you very much. Scott, you are also the treasurer. So I'm going to go in order of okay, so as treasurer, your duties are to collect the membership dues and send those dues to Toastmasters International on time and pay any expenses of the club. Will you perform the duties as treasurer to the best of your ability?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. Secretary, secretary is Elizabeth.
Yes,
Elizabeth, are you there?
I am here.
The
I was
duties
getting
of
the
the
gavel.
Okay. The duties of the secretary are to keep accurate records, submit officers lists to Toastmasters International on time, and to keep all of the documents, the charter, the constitution, and any bylaws. Will you perform these duties to the best of your abilities?
I will.
Thank you very much. VPPR, that's you, Elizabeth, too?
Aaron.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Aaron. How do you say your last name? Petrovich?
Peshek.
Petrovich. Okay, thank you, Aaron. So your responsibilities are to promote the club to the local media, spreading the word about the membership program, and attending Toastmasters events. Will you perform the duties as VPPR to the best of your abilities?
I will.
Thank you very much. Jason, you are the Vice President of Membership. Your duties include conducting,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
no, keep going. My mistake. Ignore me.
Your duties are to conduct ongoing membership building programs, explain the program, the educational program to new members, and ask them to join and fill out membership paperwork. Will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
So Jason had to leave at 9:15.
That's right. That's right. He
Yes,
did tell us.
Right. So he
You
did.
know he's going to do a good job.
That's right. He did
will.
commit. That's right.
Okay. Okay. So now we're up to the VPE. Elizabeth, you are the VPE. The duties of the VPE are to plan successful meetings and to help members achieve their educational goals and orient them to the members of the Toastmasters program as soon as they join, and then monitor their progress. Elizabeth, will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
I will.
Great. Now we're up to the president, Megan. Megan, having been elected to the as president of this club, you are its chief executive officer and will be expected to preside at club meetings and all regular and special meetings of the executive committee. It is your challenge to see that this club enables its members to achieve their educational goals. It is also your challenge to help the club, the area, the division, the district, and Toastmasters International meet their goals. Please accept this virtual gavel as a symbol of your leadership and dedication to this office. The gavel is a symbol of power and authority given to you by the membership of this club. Use it wisely and with restraint. You are a member of your team and a leader. A team is more than a collection of people. It is an emotional force rooted in feelings, thoughts, and actions of all members with the common goal of achievement, sharing, and mutual support. Work with your team to create a healthy, dynamic club, a club of which everyone will be proud. Will you, as president, accept this challenge and perform these duties to the best of your ability?
I will. Thank you.
It is now my pleasure to declare these Toastmasters installed into the offices to which they have been elected. Will all the members please raise their hand at this time? The growth and development of this club depends largely upon the actions of this group. On your honor as men and women of this Toastmasters Club, will you pledge to individually and collectively stand by this club, live with it, and work with it throughout the coming year?
I will.
I will.
Great. I wish this club a very successful year, and I'll turn control back over to your new president, Ms. Megan.
Thank you all so much. I am going to wrap things up and get us out of here on time, I would like to end this meeting with just a brief reminder of our mission. The mission of League City Toastmasters is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. And again, I'd like to thank our area director, our guests, everyone for joining us today. I'd like to give a special thanks to Elizabeth, who's been our club coach and has worked tirelessly in spite of great personal hardship at times. And I am excited about this new year, and I hope to see you all in 2 weeks. So have a wonderful weekend, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.